All right, guys, first ride on the 2025 XMR 850. Super happy with it so far. This is a break-in ride, so per the manual, I didn't really go over 3/4 throttle. I actually set the throttle backstop on the handlebars to about 75% to keep me from over-revving it and doing full throttle. And I did some pretty hard acceleration here, but I didn't do any prolonged acceleration or towing or mudding. So they say for the first 10 hours, that's the break-in procedure on this machine. That being said, it still has plenty of power to do wheelies and slide around, and it's extremely responsive. The throttle response and the steering input, it's really, really fun to just whip around in the woods. For an XMR mud machine, this is the most comfortable, good handling machine to come out by far. The shocks are tuned very well. But we did find, when we put in some whoops, you can bottom out the front end. Both me and Chrissy bottomed it out. If you hear the video, you'll hear a crack. That's the front end bottoming out over those whoops. Now, they are some really shortly spaced, hard whoops, but the XMR 700 did a little better there. It's on smaller tires, so it has more front suspension travel. This thing has a lot of rear travel, so what I figured out, before you get to the whoop, just pin it and kind of wheelie through them. The rear end will soak it up, no problem, and it's a lot easier on your wrist. But yeah, a lot of fun on this thing. So hope you guys like the footage. Tons more videos will be coming out. Again, this is an easy break and ride with about 3/4 throttle. By the way, guys, do me a favor and check and see if you're subscribed, because a lot of my views are not from my subscribers. And I think a lot of people think they're subscribed and they're not. YouTube did some update thing a while ago with the notifications, and it kind of dorked everything up. So just go ahead, and if you want to be subscribed and you're not subscribed but you thought you were, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit a like, and that'll help us get to 100,000 subscribers, which helps me make more videos like this. Thanks, guys. Definitely feel that it's like electronically limited. It's funny. It like cuts out these whoops in four-wheel drive. Whoa! Yeah, the suspension's kind of unbalanced. It has a lot more rear travel than front travel, so the front kind of just does some weird stuff. All right, let's see how she wheelies. So this is going to be low range, sport mode. It definitely does low range wheelies very easily. Try out high range sport mode. Definitely feels a little more yompy. The tune's different. So I'm just trying to break it in kind of easy today. So we're just kind of trail riding, whipping through a little woods course. The suspension is very comfortable up to a limit, but you do start bottoming out the front suspension. Maneuverability is very good though. For such a big quad, the turning radius and everything all works well. Throttle response is very good. As far as break-in so far, we do have a little bit of smoke. See some soot there. Kind of hard to see. When you rev it up, it goes away though, so I think it's just the exhaust breaking in, maybe the cat. Pretty sure this thing has a catalytic converter. But it is definitely the best handling. Oh, there it goes. Right when you let off the gas, starts to smoke. Let's keep an eye on that. definitely some smoke after you rev it up and let it idle. That hopefully will go away after break-in. But for being an XMR mud quad, the handling is really good. I think you can see that smoke there. I would definitely like to have some more front suspension travel like the XMR 700, but those shocks are tuned really well for what it is. It's just not enough travel in the front because of the 30-inch tires. Those tires measure 29, by the way, at 10 PSI. So this thing says if you have the XMR, you should have 10 PSI in the front and rear tires. So that's what I set them to. Obviously for mudding, I'd go down to 5 PSI because they're not bead locks, but it's a pretty heavy quad, so they recommend 10 PSI. Okay, so 2 more observations real quick. Number 1, the gearing, it's extremely low. I think it might be geared a little bit too low for these 29s. I say 29 because they have 10 PSI in them. They only measure 29. I'll be putting some 32 Aztecs on there. That'll help the gearing. Low range is really short, so this thing's got a lot of torque and it runs out of revs pretty fast in low range. The second thing is the electronic limiting. This is the 850, which is mechanically identical to the 1000. They're both 999cc engines with the same camshaft, etc. So Can-Am is making it an 850 by detuning it. And the way they're doing it is kind of weird. You can feel it cut power at the top end and stuff. Hopefully there'll be some aftermarket tunes that'll fix that. I don't really want more power. I just don't want it to feel limited the way that it's doing it. It's kind of dorky when it cuts power. But again, I had it set at 75% throttle position, so maybe that's what I was feeling. I don't know. It almost feels like it has traction control sometimes.